all the movies that I'm ranking right now, I would have Nomadland, Mank. I guess so bottom to top.
Yeah.
Right. Like it would like Nomadland at the bottom and Mank above that one, and then I'd probably do like Godzilla versus Kong above Mank there, just because
Yeah.
I think I had a fun time.
Sometimes having a fun movie, it makes it a good movie.
Yeah. So I was
just-
more entertained.
You got to throw the
And-
script, the acting,
Yeah.
the lighting, throw that all
Yeah.
out the
I
window.
just like I don't care about this right now, and then toss it out. Kaiju.
Does it mean something?
I have no idea. That's a great question.
Well, everybody keeps saying it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like I've heard it a million times
So
the past week.
Godzilla was a Japanese monster originally.
I believe, yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
King Kong was an American monster originally.
And I thought Godzilla destroyed Tokyo. I straight up had to do a Google search because I'm
Possible.
like, is
Possible.
Tokyo and Hong Kong are not near each other, which.
So you're
I
like,
was
how come
confused about.
like
But I'm
one
like,
is
why
China?
are they? I'm like, why are they in Hong Kong? And I'm like, oh, is
Yeah.
my geography was not up to par. Because I'm like, is Hong Kong in Tokyo? Is Tokyo in Hong Kong?
gotcha.
Like, I don't know.
Where is Japan?
But Hong Kong
in
and
relation
Tokyo,
to all of
yeah,
this,
are not
yeah.
near each other. But I thought it was in Tokyo.
Originally, you're saying it was
Yeah,
in Tokyo.
so I just expected it to be in Tokyo. But
Oh, okay. So why is it in Hong Kong? Oh, cool. All right.
no
Awesome.
idea. But I was disappointed with myself as far as my geography knowledge.
Dude, that's hard.
Quite embarrassing, to be honest. I feel like that's
know.
an easy one.
What, like
Tokyo is in Japan, but Hong Kong is not in Japan.
All
I'm gonna stop talking now. How are you doing?
Yeah, let's
How you
let's
doing?
see. But did that rich history change the way you thought about this movie?
No.
Like, do you feel like, hey guys, before you sit down and watch this movie, go do your research first? Like, I don't think. Does it make it better if you have followed the Godzilla and King Kong saga from the beginning?
I didn't. I've always known about it. I never really cared about it.
Yeah.
It's got a history.
Yeah, big history.
It's like it goes way back.
Right.
And I didn't. And I
Yeah.
always knew it. Like I saw like the crazy weird Godzilla when I was 5, and it was on some TV channel. And my dad's like, "Hey, check this out."
Like
It's
the guy in the
Godzilla.
costume.
Yeah,
Godzilla.
And it's like the fake buildings,
Right.
like, model buildings, and you're like, "Oh, like that was cool."
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't realize like how deep this thing goes and like where it came from and like the whole deal.
You're right.
But yeah, there's a lot of history like on Godzilla's side.
Yes.
And then when they put them together and like the Mecha Godzilla, I didn't know that was like a big character player too.
Yep.
So I didn't know anything until after I started.
So you thought
seeing
Mecha
other stuff.
Godzilla was something that they added for this
No,
movie?
I
or-
just didn't know it was like a big like how big
Oh,
it
okay.
played, how big its role was.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I know there was a robot one because you saw a robot one,
Yeah.
but I didn't know it was like a big deal. Just like, oh, cool. That's like,
Yeah. You're like, all
but
right.
like, no, the robot Godzilla was like an actual part of everything going on. So that,
Yeah.
I just didn't know how big a role it played.
Well, so you don't think you need to know any of the previous history, right? So you sit down and you
need
watch
to
this
see
movie.
the other movies in the trilogy.
Yeah. So I actually I have
don't
not
know.
seen them.
I don't remember them.
Or yeah, I
I've
saw.
seen
That's,
them.
that's a lie. I saw Godzilla. And I saw.
King of Monsters.
Yeah. I saw.
I
Well, I
saw
saw both of
both.
them. I'm pretty sure I saw both.
Don't
of them.
remember
Yeah, I don't remember them either.
a lick of anything. So I might as well have not seen them.
I've seen bits and pieces of Kong Skull Island. So I'm like, yeah, all right. I think I'm
But
good.
I mean, I guess you need to have seen them, sort of. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, why is he on the island? Like, why is he trapped there?
Oh, gotcha.
And then I'm like, had to look back, and I was like, I don't remember why he's trapped there.
Yeah. Does that matter though? Did that change
No,
the way that you
not-
felt
pretty
about
much
this
nothing
movie?
in this movie matters.
Let's talk about that.
Nothing-
Let's talk about that.
There was no part of me that felt like I needed to watch. Like, I'm lost in this story. I just didn't care. Like, I didn't care enough to be like, I should have done the trilogy.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. This is what we're gonna.
The way
Go through?
the way I felt about it, and the reason why I didn't care, is because before you even sit down to watch this movie, if you decided that you wanted to watch this movie, you have already accepted the fact that two monsters are going to fight each other,
Yes. That's
which
what
is
you're there
a
for.
ridiculous concept
Yeah.
in the first place. So
Correct.
anything else that the movie gives me, I'm like, fine,
Yeah.
sure.
You needed to boost up the runtime.
Yeah, like okay,
Yeah.
you can't afford to show these monsters fighting for 2 hours. I get it.
No.
So we'll give you some human story, but I don't really care about any of that.
Did you like it? Did you like the movie?
Well, I had fun watching it. Do I think it's a good movie? Absolutely not.
Why are people like, this movie was a masterpiece and this is like,
Whoa.
I'm confused.
Whoa. Who's saying that?
A couple of people were like, this is the like, and of course
yeah,
the
no
like
way.
the thing bringing the movies back and everything, but people
Yeah,
are hyping this,
I heard that.
which is cool.
Yeah.
But people are
Yeah,
like
I
way
agree.
overhyping the movie, and I'm like, what
No.
are you
Yeah.
doing? Why?
Yeah.
It was just, it was just fun. I had fun with it. It was cool.
Yeah.
Had some soda, popcorn, and it was fine. Am I gonna watch it or buy it on Blu-ray? Probably not.
Right. Please don't.
But people are like, "Wow, this was like was it because we haven't seen movies in a long time? Was
Probably.
it because like
Probably.
the scores were super super high on it?" And
I
I'm
don't-
like,
Those were probably dropped. Did you know that the embargo lifts 1 week after release date? The review embargo on this movie lifts a week after it is released.
Mm-mm.
Usually, I mean, 99.99% of the time, an embargo lifts. At the worst case scenario, I see it lifting the day before, and that's usually when a studio
Oh, I
is
didn't know
afraid.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're probably going to see that high score drop, if I had to guess.
Yeah, because
Like,
they were like, "Oh, it'll be," and I hate Rotten Tomato. But it's like the source people.
Sure,
it's just
sure,
a
sure,
basic.
Yeah,
Did people like it? Yes or no. So that's why I looked
Yeah.
at it. And a couple weeks ago, people were like, I'm thinking 55,
hmm
60, something like that.
Yeah.
The last time I looked at it, it was like 87.
for audience score, you mean?
I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah, I don't think.
But I feel like both
I don't think
critic
critics-
reviewers like
I think they were
it
both
was
fresh.
higher than I thought.
Yeah,
And then higher after I watched it, I'm like, no.
I really did think that everybody was going to rip this movie apart. So I guess I was surprised it was fresh at all. On
Yeah,
Rotten
I'm not.
Tomatoes.
I'm definitely not ripping it.
Yeah, I'm not.
But people
yeah.
are like, this was great. Like, let's make another one. And I'm like, maybe not.
I mean, you don't have. Yeah, no.
We got 3 of them.
I don't think that. Well, I mean, they might go beyond this, and that's fine. But it
cool
was a
with it.
fun movie to watch because I decided to watch two monsters fight each other, which
That's
is cool.
all I wanted.
Which is cool, and that's a cool thing to do.
And
Like, but
it is something based in history, I guess.
yeah,
Oh, not that history, but it is something like, oh, it's been around since the 40s. Like, why not
Right.
make a big blockbuster action thing?
yeah.
Go watch the one from 1946, whatever it was. I don't know
yeah,
the exact year.
yeah.
But like, watch that atrocity of what it was in the 40s, and then watch the 2021 version. And be like, cool, look how far we came.
Yeah, and it's awesome that there is
I
still
think
a
it's
following
super cool. Oh yeah,
that for this area. You know, I don't really walk around and see a lot of just Godzilla fans, like people wearing Godzilla shirts or,
no,
or
that would
anything,
be
right?
I don't know that I could do that.
Right. I don't think that you really see that. So it is interesting that there is, at least on some level, a fan base.
Yeah.
Yeah, of like, hey, yeah, because I like action movies, I'm also gonna enjoy this monster fighting this monster.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
But you can't say the movie was good.
no, it wasn't.
I could say it was fun.
It was
I could say I
fun.
had a really fun time watching it.
It was
But
fun.
anytime that there are people on the screen, and we knew that was going to happen. We knew that was going to happen because Godzilla movies and King Kong movies all have a human element that is not strong. And so we knew we go to these movies for the monsters, and when we see the humans on screen,
We're bored.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the Kong people as much as the Godzilla people.
Oh yeah.
The Godzilla people were awful.
The Godzilla kids.
The guy.
Millie Bobby Brown
Yo,
trying to
just
save the
running
world.
around.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna go to Tokyo on a jet. Like, what?
All
Or
right.
Hong Kong. Sorry. Jesus. But like the Kong people had kind of like a purpose. They had like an objective.
Yeah, because they were with Kong.
Yeah.
Right?
And the
Yeah.
Godzilla people were just.
Like if you took the Godzilla people out of the movie,
It would change it zero.
it makes
No,
no
it
difference.
well, it wouldn't improve it, but it wouldn't make a difference. Like they're
No.
there, fine. They're there, fine.
Yeah, because nothing that the Godzilla people do influences Godzilla in any way.
they don't even come across him.
They're just trying to figure out why Godzilla is doing what he's doing, right? And so
she's like trying to defend him.
it's just like
a hero.
it's just to get us to the scene where the bad guy gives his monologue,
Yeah.
right? And then it's just to get us to Mecha Godzilla. Like
Yeah.
that's it does, but it
I
it
didn't
doesn't need to
believe
be
anything.
there.
And
Yeah.
the conspiracy theory, he said some funny stuff. I like chuckled at. There's a few things. He said. I
The
was like,
conspiracy
that's-
guy, yeah.
Like he just said funny stuff.
Yeah, he did.
And again, but it didn't make it better. It was just funny. But the
Yeah.
Godzilla team had like a purpose and they had a mission.
The King Kong.
Yeah.
Team. Yeah.
Did I say Godzilla?
Yeah.
Oh. The Kong team had an objective.
Right.
They're like, we need to do this, and we need to go here, and we need Kong's help, and
Which-
let's all go together.
Okay, so let me ask you, what were they trying to do?
Well, they were just, from what I get, they were just trying to transport him to this other hollow Earth
Why?
to get the power for the
For what?
for the axe, right?
But they didn't know the axe
Oh,
existed.
yeah, they didn't know because it was the evil guy that sent his daughter,
Right.
and they were just like, okay, cool,
Yeah.
and they went and off and did that.
But
stuff.
why was the guy? What was his? I'm not saying that the movie doesn't explain it, but I'm saying it was so forgettable that I don't know why Skarsgård, whatever, I don't know what his character name is. Alexander Skarsgård, the character.
I don't know anybody's character.
I don't know
name.
anybody's name in this
Jesus.
movie. But why? I know he's like, oh, my brother died on this mission, but we think we figured it out.
Oh, his character, the guy that drives the ship.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Why did he go?
Oh, because I guess he just wanted to prove his theory that it was correct, that there was
And that's-
another place.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm telling you, this is where the monsters come from, and I want to prove it.
It's so weird.
So that was like his thing.
Like, what a strange motivation to be like, yeah, let's take
Yeah,
Kong
and
into
he had
this.
the book, and the guy went in did the whole villain thing. And
Right, absolutely.
he's
Yeah,
like,
we
"You-
need
you're
your
gonna-
help.
You're gonna take it and fly it in. And he was like, all right.
Yeah, well, my brother died doing it, so I'm
He's
gonna
like,
do it
but
right.
we have tools he never had.
Right.
It was just, I don't know. It was just goofy. Like, it was just
It
very.
was so silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I'm like, all right, I'm already here.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah, because I agreed to watch a crazy movie.
And then when they got to Hollow Earth, I'm like, when are they going to fight? Like, how are they going to get back from this? Because they went through a whole time
Yeah.
portal.
Well,
So
apparently,
I'm like, how is the fight going to happen?
apparently Godzilla can just
Drill a hole
access
through the
Hollow Earth
entire
whenever he
Earth.
wants.
And nobody knew. So, like, that,
Well, but
like
again,
that
why
part-
did he do that though?
I guess because the axe awoke and it, like, pissed him off or something.
And he was like, "No,
And he's like, yeah,
I'm
so
mad."
like,
They can
yeah.
just sense each other, and he was like,
Apparently.
I sense Kong.
But there was.
He is right under me."
Yeah, and he let
And
me
he's
like
just
blast
like,
a hole.
"Let
And then
me
he just
access
crawls
it."
out. He goes the whole length of the
That's
earth and crawls out, and I'm
hilarious,
like, okay. But it's one of those movies that's like,
But
sure.
like
All right.
like the thing that brought me here in the first place is all like it already hit my max ridiculousness, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm already capped out
Yeah.
because I'm watching a giant gorilla beat up
Is he a lizard?
a dinosaur, lizard.
I don't know what he is.
Dragon.
He's not a dragon.
Spits out fire, bro. It spits out fire.
Dragons fly.
Yeah, this one swims.
He's a Michael Phelps guy.
yeah, he's the Michael Phelps of of Titans.
But to that, the monster stuff was good. It's
Yeah,
what I
right,
wanted.
yeah.
All the fights were good.
Well,
There
the
was
awesome part about this movie is that the monster fights were the best part of this movie.
Yeah, which again we all knew was
Right,
gonna
which
happen.
is the point,
The
right?
human stuff was so bad. Like when they're like, "Hey, just turn off the ship and just act like we're not home."
And Godzilla's
What?
like, I don't know about this,
he's
but
they were just here a
okay.
minute ago, and now they're not here.
I was
I'm gonna take off. Like, what?
Kat knew I was watching the movie, and she saw the beginning part of that fight where
Yeah.
Godzilla first meets Kong, and then she walked away or something, and then she was like, "Hey, whatever happened to in that fight scene?" And I was like, "Oh, Godzilla just like left him alone."
Yeah.
She was like, "But why?" And I was like,
They turned their engine off.
yeah." I was like, "Oh, they like got really quiet, so Godzilla thought that they were dead." And she was like, "Godzilla thought King Kong was dead." Or like he couldn't see him anymore, and I was like, "No, he was right there. He like looked right at
They
him."
stared at each other.
Yeah, he like looked right at him, knew he was breathing and everything. She was like, "I don't understand," and I was like, "I don't think we're supposed to."
Don't ask.
Don't yeah, like if
Don't
like
ask.
the more I
why.
explain this movie, the more I'm gonna dislike it. So let's just leave it on a surface
Yeah.
level. I don't want to go deep into it.
It was strange.
Yeah,
Play
but
dead?
it was a weird thing to do. So, but let's talk about who won the fight, though. In a fight, Godzilla versus King Kong.
I mean, Godzilla.
Godzilla wins every time.
Clearly wins.
Godzilla wins every time.
Clearly wins.
There wasn't a fight that they had where Kong did not need human assistance in some way.
Did you have a winner? Are you a team?
No.
Why do we need to pick a team too?
Team Godzilla?
Why are people like, oh, I'm on his, like, why are we picking teams?
I have no idea.
Hashtag
no
Team
idea.
K, Team Kong. Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, I mean, all of it is very strange because I'm like, the people wanted Kong to go to Hollow Earth to access this power source, which the people transporting Kong didn't know about. Fine, fair enough. But Godzilla's like, nah, I'm going to go kill him. And so from Kong's perspective, he's like, whoa, like you are coming right at me for no reason.
Yeah.
And Kong is just like, why are you attacking all these people and everything? Just, where did you come from?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, from that perspective, I'm like, Jesus, Godzilla, relax. But he's like, I'm trying to save the Earth here.
Yeah.
There's a bigger plan.
It is funny that
play.
they give well, they're not monsters.
Yeah, all right.
That they're like
Careful with the M word.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That they're giving them like Millie Bobby Brown's like he's our protector.
Right. He's
I'm
he's
like,
always protected Earth. Yeah.
Is he though? Again, I don't know the history. Is he like
straight up murdering people though?
They
It's
killed
like,
a lot of innocent people. A lot of lives were lost.
Hong Kong is gone.
Yeah.
Like,
But
so,
she's like he's gentle.
yeah,
And I'm like, "What?"
I don't know.
And then on the Kong side, they had the girl, the village survivor,
yeah,
was like able to speak sign language.
yeah.
And I'm like, how did they teach him sign language when he was under like constant surveillance and nobody knew?
Right.
I'm like, isn't this guy being watched 24/7 and nobody knew he was
All the time.
taking classes?
Yeah.
What?
He had a break. He had a 1 hour break.
Yeah.
At the
And
middle
they're
of
like-
every day. And he used his time wisely. He decided, I'm gonna pick up another language.
I'm gonna go back to school.
I'm gonna go to school. I feel like this is a language that can be useful. Put it on my resume.
And they were just shocked when they're like, he can talk?
What?
And the girl's like, yeah.
But how come he only said one word? It was like, is this home or
Yeah.
something? Yeah.
And then I was watching, I'm like, oh, like I know some sign language. I was like, okay.
But he understands all sign language, and then he just it's home. Just want to go home.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to like have to have those conversations.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to talk to people.
I don't want to be here. guys.
Yeah. Okay.
This is awkward for everybody.
So the monster stuff was good. The human stuff was bad.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the
but-
worst scene in the entire movie?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what scene it is?
Hold on. Let me guess.
Because
No,
it was so...
A human scene?
It was so dumb. It was a human scene, of course it was.
Yeah, of course.
It was so dumb
Okay.
Why didn't anybody say, like, really? You put that in the movie, and somebody
Yeah.
watched it, and they're like, should we leave? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Is it where Millie Bobby Brown gets picked up in a van?
I don't even remember that at all.
What?
Gets picked up in a van.
The kid, her friend,
Oh,
comes
yes,
and picks
yes.
her up in the van.
Yeah, and she like drives away.
Yeah,
I do
and then
remember.
but he's like, yeah, here's this van,
It's
and
like, it's
she's
my
like,
brother's.
and she was like, yeah, I'm driving, and then like takes off without him in the vehicle.
Was that
like,
the little kid
damn.
from Deadpool?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't
That's
know.
the first thing I was like, is that kid from Deadpool?
I have
No, that
idea.
was not the one scene I was thinking of. And it's so funny because my dad finished the movie today.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, did you watch it? I was like, yeah. He's like, what the was with that? Like, why? And I was like, me too.
Yeah.
So we both had this connection. And he's like, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
What
And I
was
like,
it?
I thought that same thing.
Is it the DJ booth?
No, I thought that was a funny joke. I'm like, yeah. I was like, he's kind of right.
Yeah.
When the kid poured the liquor on the thing and it just stopped.
Yeah.
Because earlier in the movie, he's
Stupid.
like, yeah, I got like 2 ounces left of liquor here.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, it's just this little flask.
Yeah. And
He's
I'm
like-
drinking
He's
it
like, I got one drink left, maybe 2.
from my dead wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he like pours it on and then it just
Mechagodzilla's
stops.
like
What?
hiccups, like has like
Dude, I didn't understand that at all.
the fact that kid at all, like, I got really angry at that whole scene because he just saw a robot Godzilla tear the place apart and walk away, and he was like, hold on, I got this, I just need to crack the code.
And he had no idea what he was doing.
And then he was like,
And
I
then
don't know,
he-
I took an HTML class. And the guy's like, what? So why would you even sit down? Why would you even take a crack at it?
That whole thing.
The
was-
whole
was
scene
frustrating.
is ridiculous.
And he admitted, he's like, well, I don't know what I'm.
Yeah, like this
it would have been cooler if he like unplugged something
would
or like destroyed the thing. Like,
it would have been better if they were like, oh, you know what makes sense? There's obviously a satellite that's connected to
Yeah.
him remotely,
Yeah.
right? Like I bet you if we break that satellite, it'll disrupt him somehow.
Something better than the liquor.
It took me 2 seconds to solve that problem.
Come on. The
I
liquor,
agree with you.
That
I agree
was
with you.
just to
All
me
the
was so
all the
ridiculous.
human stuff was ridiculous.
And then it just ended.
yeah.
Is that normal?
I
He
mean,
like goes in the ocean and then dun, 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 like the credits come up.
they were just kind of like,
I was like, oh, cutscene.
so we're
I
done
was like,
here
okay,
then,
cool.
right?
Yeah. No, didn't do like the, well,
No.
this is what everybody's doing now. Kong's back on his island. Nothing. Godzilla hasn't.
continues to take sign
Godzilla
language.
hasn't bothered people in a couple months.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Where do they go to from here? They're obviously not enemies of each other anymore.
Do you expect to team up?
Did I? Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
You had to, have, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
but like, at the time, I didn't know. I'm like, well, what are they gonna team up for?
Oh, I see.
I didn't know what they were gonna fight. I
Me
knew it was like-
either,
I was like,
me
there's gotta
either.
be a team up. There's got.
I figured some other Titan was gonna get revealed.
That's what I thought. I thought like someone was gonna come out
Yeah.
of the ocean, and they're like, oh shit, it's like, God, what's the other one? A megalodon, the big shark.
oh, that'd
I
be
was
awesome.
like, yo, it's like a megalodon, and they're like fighting that. Like, I thought it was gonna be something like
yeah,
where it's like it was so over the top. I'm like, yeah, of course.
like you
I
get
want-
into like Sharknado
I'm like,
territory.
yo, of course I want to watch this fight, but I'm like, really? Somebody approve this? Like, yeah, it was gonna be like a giant hurricane or something. Like, I don't know what it was gonna be.
I did.
I knew the team up was coming.
The
and
team
that
up
was
for
cool.
sure was coming. I knew nobody was gonna die.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I
'cause
didn't,
they
you
gotta
know,
leave the
because
door
yeah,
open.
they're gonna like we need to leave it open. So because nobody was gonna die, I was like, they're gonna team up and fight a bigger bad. The fact that it was a human-made Godzilla, I'm like,
kind of lame.
yeah, I was like, all
It would've
right,
been cool if it was
because
Bigfoot. I don't know.
you still have to accept all of these things to even believe that they can build this thing in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Because they take the head of Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster,
Oh, yeah,
right? Is
and
it Ghidorah?
It's like the control center.
Yeah, and that's like where everything's like being like
The
linked.
DJ booth.
Yeah, the DJ booth.
Yeah.
Because it's going into the skull, which again, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, see that.
But I have to believe it to
Well,
get me to the next thing.
That was the thing. I'm like, I should have paid attention in the other movies, and I just didn't.
I don't.
Not that they were bad movies. I just
I
just don't remember them enough.
I don't think that matters. I really don't. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
guess
that you
not.
watching it or not changed the
No,
way
no,
you
it
felt
wouldn't-
about this
No,
movie.
it wouldn't have made me. It wouldn't have
It
made
was
it any
still
better.
ridiculous
Yeah.
that they plugged into the skull of another Titan, and
Yeah.
that gave them remote capabilities to the
It was
man-made
very. Did you
Mechagodzilla.
see Pacific Rim?
Yeah, it was
Same,
very
it was
Pacific
I'm
Rim.
like, oh, that's the same.
Yeah,
thing.
controlling a
And then
giant.
again, got on my reviews, and everybody else said, I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm not alone. in
Yeah,
my
no,
thinking.
no,
I'm like,
absolutely.
all right, cool.
Yeah, it was very Pacific
So a lot
Rim.
of people had like the same opinion across the board, and that's why I was so surprised. I'm like, why are people saying this was a great? It's the first movie I saw in theaters, and and I'm like, what?
I think it goes back to what you were saying because it was like the first big blockbuster that kind of got us out of this pandemic rut.
Yeah, I guess. All right.
You know, and so it's like
That didn't make the movie good. Like,
no, it didn't.
does it just mean because
It
you haven't
didn't.
seen a movie in a year that the first one you see is going to be a good movie?
I agree, but because it was fun, I think people are giving it
Yeah.
a pass because it was cool. Again, I mean, seriously, how many Transformers movies are good? Like
One.
the first
One.
one, the very first one is good. After that,
You just
they're
watch it
not.
just to watch it.
Yeah, because it's cool to see them transform every time.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
man, that is cool. Every
Yeah.
time it gets me.
Yeah. Okay.
But beyond that, it's like, no.
It would have been better. The movie wouldn't have been better. It would have been a better experience to see it in IMAX.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, of course, because the sound was awesome. I thought
Yeah.
the sound was so good.
It is.
Because I like kind of looked around the room. I was like, whoa, my walls are shaking. Like, this is awesome.
I
I'm
think
like in a theater, like in an IMAX, like we would have been.
I think they nailed the Godzilla, yell or scream or whatever
yeah, I'm
but
not
I
gonna
know.
do it. Oh,
You want to
no.
go again? You
No,
want to
I'm
give it another
gonna-
shot? Damn it,
I
T.
felt it in my.
Are we doing this
"Ugh,"
again?
Like I felt it coming up, but I'm like, nah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It
The
was cool.
yell, right?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and the thing is, again, the best part about this movie is the monsters. I think that they nailed all of the monster stuff.
So, well, I already know the answer to this, but do you need to continue? Do you need to continue this story? at
I
all?
really don't know. Like, you can't call it. There's no way you can call the next movie Godzilla versus King Kong or Godzilla versus Kong because what are they like? Now they're mad at each other again.
Did you make it like a buddy cop movie?
Dang.
And they like have to like team up, and there's like different things going on.
I am not joking.
Like yeah,
If they humanized Godzilla and King Kong
they're like back to back, like on
and
the
they
poster.
sent them on a journey together,
Yeah,
this movie would have been more enjoyable.
yeah.
If they were like, they got to team up, like they were like, let's throw them into Hollow Earth together because they have to destroy the Titan.
Oh, that would be cool. Just throw them both down the
Yeah,
hole.
they need them both in there because they got to go
There's a lot
after
of
whatever.
monsters down
Yeah,
there.
tons of monsters down there. Crazy crap. They don't know what's going on.
That would
And
be
then
funny.
we just like follow them, and like somehow they communicate. Like,
Yeah, and they like look at each other like,
yeah,
I don't like you, you don't like me.
right. Like, let's
We
not.
gotta
but
do
we have to
we
team
gotta
up.
put our
right?
differences aside, and they like bump fists, and they're like, let's go.
Let's do
And
this.
they like fall in the
Yeah.
hole.
I would
And
love
it's
that.
like upbeat.
I
It's
would
not even
love
like
that.
it's not even scary. It's like upbeat music, like Godzilla, like, and they do a whole
It doesn't
thing.
match the movie at all.
And they do like superhero
Yeah.
landings and like a whole thing.
I would love that.
Yeah,
That movie would be better. If
yeah.
they were like the humans are just there in the beginning to be like, oh shit, we need Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah, and they're both like in a cell somewhere,
Yeah.
like doing a thing, right?
Kong is just doing push-ups,
Yeah.
getting jacked.
He's like it's just writing stuff
Yeah.
on the wall, like the tally marks on the wall.
He's
And
like,
they're hey,
yeah.
we need ya. And then he like turns around, and then they cut to Godzilla.
And then someone's like, is he still practicing sign language? And then he turns around and goes,
And then they
I
like
think
break
that's a
him out.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like a whole goofy thing.
Yeah.
That lasts 10, 15 minutes. And then they send them in the thing. And it's just them for the next hour and a half.
We wrote
Yeah.
a way better
All right,
movie.
we're stopping now. We got
Then-
we
yeah, we
got a script to write.
have to send a few emails. I would have enjoyed
That
that
would be good.
movie way
That
more
would've
than
been
this movie.
But it would have had to have some humor.
Oh yeah, because again, it's like I'm already accepting something so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That
You
why
have to
not?
accept it.
Why not be like, you know what? Somehow, some way, they can they can talk to each other. Like, let's just establish it right away. Like, they can communicate. They can communicate telepathically, whatever. Like,
'Cause
they can
what
get
if-
away with like over here and be like,
Yeah.
like something, right? Like,
But
whatever.
they can sense each other? Is that the thing?
yeah,
They
that's
know
like
when,
the
like,
big.
like-
Yeah, they like
okay.
know where they are. They have like a radar.
And that's
That
why they put
detects
him in the
each
dome,
other.
right? So he like couldn't find out where he, like there's another alpha.
I think. Well, I got the impression that like if you avoid certain areas, then Godzilla won't detect you because like this is his stomping ground. This is his corner. So
Yeah,
we got to go over
his
here.
side of town.
It's his territory, so
Yeah.
we got to go over here so we avoid his territory, and then you're all right.
And the other thing I thought was funny is when they're like, "Oh, let's kill the ships. That way he knows." And they're like, "Well, what are we gonna do?" And they bring in helicopters.
Yeah.
How did they like that? Wasn't a ton of noise.
Yeah, I'm
When
sure
they
it was
brought
a ton
in
of noise.
12 helicopters
Yeah.
hooked him like that. He didn't sense that.
Also, like, what did they tell Kong? They were like, "Hey, I know what we just went through was bad,
Well,
but
wasn't he
listen,
like passed out? 'Cause
trust us again."
did
Maybe.
they
Oh, I thought
tranquilize
they.
him again. 'Cause
I'm
once
sure they would have had
once
to.
they dropped him in the Arctic,
He was like, woke
He's
up.
"What
Yeah.
the hell?"
Oh, I'm good. I guess I fell asleep there.
Yeah, and then he's like, "All right,
Oh,
let's
man.
go."
No, I would have imagined they didn't show us or tell us or anything, but I would have imagined that they would have had to have tranked him again
How do you
to
what do you
get him
crank
all the
with?
way.
How big is-
Again.
how big is that dart?
They're like, we're keeping him at like a certain level of sedation. I'm like, with what?
Yeah.
But I guess they know.
And then he just
They
woke
know.
up, and they're like, Godzilla. They're like, unchain him. I was like, I thought he was sedated.
Yeah, but
He's just magic. Yeah.
you know, we just we
it's
just
one
like,
of
all
those, you
right,
just
we just
accept it. Do you
fine.
want them to fight or not?
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
yeah, of course. Well, then he's not sedated.
And
anymore.
again, the whole
Just be
point
okay
of
with it.
of King Kong going to Hollow Earth is because I think nobody actually thought that Kong stands a chance against Godzilla. So like, we need him to have a weapon. But where is he gonna get a weapon that's strong enough to fight Godzilla? And they're like, oh, about the middle of the Earth. And they're like, yeah. But what if you call it Hollow Earth? And they're like, okay,
Fine.
that's cool.
I did think it was cool when Godzilla like charged it up when they like had to do the team up.
Yeah,
And
that
he
was
like
cool.
grabbed it and he's like looked at it and charged it up. He's like, "This'll help."
Yeah,
Like, but again, it was the monster.
That was
stuff
cool,
like, charged
yeah.
Up. He's like, "Let's go," and they were like fighting.
because they almost humanized it, right? Like it was
Again, they were
almost
communicating. They
yeah,
did the buddy
exactly,
cop thing.
exactly.
He's like, "I need you." And he's like,
He's like, obviously, I'm losing over here,
Yeah.
man.
Godzilla got his ass kicked.
Yeah, by Mechagodzilla. Yeah.
No, even by regular Godzilla, like when he was like,
Oh,
put his
Kong got
foot
his
on
ass
him.
kicked, is what
Yeah,
you're
and he
saying,
was
yeah.
like digging his foot into him.
I know.
kind of expected-
Scratching him up
Yeah.
and stuff, and
Bad. I kind of expected Godzilla to win
yeah.
because I think he's quick on his feet. You know,
You saying
that real
you
boxing
expected
style.
Kong to win?
Did I say
Dude,
Godzilla
you've been
again?
saying Godzilla this
Jesus.
whole time
I expected Kong to win
against Godzilla
Godzilla.
because he
'cause
was
he's like quicker,
more
He's
agile.
got like the hands.
yeah.
Godzilla's got the T.
Just like a box.
Godzilla's got the
Just
T-Rex
boxed him.
situation.
He
That's what I thought.
He outboxed
I was like,
him.
he's gonna have him like up against the ropes and just wailing on him until again.
Yeah.
But the opposite happened. Godzilla had him on the ropes until
Yeah.
he just couldn't handle it anymore.
Well, again, I think if we're talking, monster versus monster here, Kong mostly spent his time running away from Godzilla's fire.
He's like
'cause
hanging
he
on
was
buildings
just like,
and
damn,
like jumping off.
like if that hits me even a little bit, then I'm
What
done.
is it? Do you know? Was it like an energy
It's
plasma?
it's
thing?
like not nuclear. What's the right word for
Yeah,
that?
I'd probably. Make
It's like
sense.
something like that, like an damn, I can't believe. Oh, like a radioactive like beam.
Yeah. That,
Something like that, where you're like, it'll cut through Kong
Yeah.
if it hits him. So
Yeah,
Kong's
yeah.
like, I'm just need to stay away from this.
which again, a lot of boxers do too. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta play defense this whole fight. wait till I
Yeah.
find an opening and hope I can just wail on him hard enough.
Yeah, I mean, it was an awesome fight.
It was fun.
It
I
was
thought
fun.
King, thought Kong was gonna win for sure, so I was surprised that
He loses.
he loses.
Yeah.
But again, the whole abrupt ending was super weird.
Yeah.
And I probably was like, yo, we gotta leave this open because we don't know.
Are you rating this movie?
I gave it a 7.7.
Oh, yes.
And I think I need to go a 7.5.
You
I think
go a
this-
smidge lower?
Yeah, I think because 7.5 is it's a round ballpark. It's a good figure. I had fun.
Yeah.
It was just like it was a good action movie. I cranked it up real loud.
Yeah.
I had fun. No, it wasn't a good movie, but it was good enough to be like.
Just because it was fun. You
Yeah.
enjoyed.
Yeah.
You were happy with your time.
I was
spent.
yeah. I didn't feel like my time was because I'm like it was enough fighting for
Yeah.
me to be like that was cool.
It was an hour 45 or something, right?
Yeah, it was super
super
easy.
quick.
And I wasn't at all like, all right, like let's hurry up. Like I want to be done with this now.
All right.
I wanted to get to the next fight,
Yeah.
but I wasn't like, all right, let's get the movie to be over so I can do something else with my night.
So
So I'm like 7.5. It was fine. I might buy like a box set maybe if they have all three.
oh, that'd be cool.
Something like that. They're like, oh, we have Kong Skull Island, Godzilla versus monsters,
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Kong. Like I'd buy a box set of all of
Like
them.
that'd be cool. Yeah.
That would be fine. So 75.
The way I've been talking about things lately is just kind of ranking the movies for my year.
Yeah.
Like all the movies that I've watched, I've just kind of been like, okay, where on the list does this movie fall? Because I'm like,
I could do that too.
right,
But
like,
there hasn't been too many movies.
yeah, it depends on what new releases you've seen, right?
Yeah.
It depends on how far back you go, because I could be like, well, I started last year at the end of last year, ended with Wonder Woman for me. So I'm like, if I include Wonder Woman in on the list, it's like, yeah, then
So if you had to watch Wonder Woman again or Godzilla versus Kong again, which one you watch?
oh, I'd watch Godzilla versus Kong again. Yeah. But that, I mean, again, it's like, it says so much about Wonder Woman. So I'm like, I don't want to add it to my list because it's just going to be at the bottom the whole time. So
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't really want to. But I saw Nomadland too, and I'm like, I would watch Wonder Woman before watching Nomadland again.
Yeah, which I wanted to, and I'm glad when we were talking.
Oh
with
yeah, I
Rico
told
about
you.
it,
Yeah,
'cause I'm like,
I told you guys
I was like, this might be like
no,
something
don't do
super
it.
compelling. Like,
don't do it. No, it's
it
not.
might be like really like I might have a good time and like learn something.
So like
And then-
Nomadland is the opposite of Godzilla versus Kong. It is a well-made movie that is boring. So I had zero fun watching this movie where the acting was good, the directing was good, the story was
Doesn't
good,
that suck when everything's so good and you're like,
and I'm just like, oh my god.
damn,
And I'm just like, it was so boring.
It's still-
so boring.
still award contender and all that, huh?
Yeah, it's nominated, and I'm like, fine. It was a well done movie. You guys checked all the boxes. I understand. It was
take your trophy
boring.
and go home.
Yes, it was boring. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, on the exact opposite spectrum, I'm like, so a well done movie that's boring, I don't want to see that either. I would rather see a movie not well done that was fun
Because you
versus
enjoy
this
it.
side.
And
Yeah.
I think people forget a lot of the time a movie is just for entertainment.
Yeah, it's for fun.
Everyone's like, oh, that's not going to win an Oscar. So
Doesn't matter.
I don't need it to win an Oscar.
Yeah.
Most of the movies I like aren't Oscar winners, but
Yeah.
they're good movies. And nowadays people are like, well, I just can't see this holding up against this movie. And I'm like, it is not supposed to hold
Yeah.
up against this
Well,
movie.
Don't compare those two things.
They don't belong in the same category.
Yeah.
Why are you talking about them like they're on the same level? They're not.
So
A movie sometimes is just for fun. It's just a 2-hour thing that's fun. I don't think every movie has to be an Oscar contender or an award-winning masterpiece. Like
I
just
agree with
don't.
you. Oh, and I don't
just
think
don't.
every movie even sets out to be that. I don't think every single time a movie is made that people in the room are going, okay, let's try to win an Oscar this time.
I wonder if it's so
Dude,
they like
I don't
rap and
think
it's like,
so.
all right, guys, I'll see
No.
you on Oscar night.
Yeah.
And
See you on the red carpet.
Yeah,
Ah,
like-
you know?
No.
Like, no, I really don't think that's
Okay.
how
Okay.
that
Which
happens.
is a good
Because
thing.
you're right. It's not everybody, not every movie is supposed to be that. And that's a good thing because a lot of times movies are just made for fun. It's to tell a story. And I understand that a lot of movies go deeper and there's a political side to things sometimes.
and
And they're
that's
like trying to tell you
awesome.
something. And I'm like, cool.
I love that.
That those movies are good too.
Mhm.
But I don't feel like my 2 hours are well spent when I'm not having a good time in some capacity, right?
Is
Like
there a movie you can think of that was good? Like it was boring, but you're like, damn, that was good. You're
that
like,
was
no,
boring.
well, not boring, but like, yo, I didn't have fun doing that. But like shit, that was good. Like, is there?
Well,
And I'm sure it's like an Oscar
I
winner.
saw Mank also. Mank is also nominated.
Mink?
Mank, yeah, the
Mank?
David Fincher film.
I didn't know David Fincher had a new one.
Yep, well, it was
Okay.
one of the nominees.
Okay.
Saw that guy. Mank is it's probably somewhere in the middle there. Like it's not a boring movie because it's actually an homage to old movies. So
Oh, that's cool.
so if you don't know what it is, it's just like
I don't.
it's about. Do you know what Citizen Kane is?
Yeah.
So it's the movie about the writer during the time he was writing Citizen Kane.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. So Herman
Again,
Mankiewicz.
interesting.
Yeah, it's like, hey, this is a cool thing, and
But I don't.
he's a raging alcoholic, which
Yeah.
adds like a certain element to it,
Mhm.
which keeps things interesting because he's our main character
enough.
who
Okay.
goes off the rails throughout the film, and so you're like, okay, this isn't. It's not like super exciting because the subject matter like is not super exciting, but I was entertained throughout the movie. But unless you're like a big film buff, it may not
Yeah,
hit you like that.
You may not notice.
It's done in black and white. It takes place in the 1930s. It looks like it's in the 1930s. So it like if I sat my grandma down and I was like, "Look, grandma, there's this awesome movie from the 1930s. You should watch it." She would not know it was made in 2020, or 2019. Like she would
that's
believe.
intriguing to me.
Yeah, and you're like, "Wow, that's a cool little homage to classics," which it was.
But I feel like you would have to have an interest in film.
Yeah, so there's like that certain balance that you
I
would
could
have
tell
to
that
have.
to somebody else, and they'd be like, "Why?"
Like this movie is so boring, and I'm like, "Have you seen Nomadland?" And they'd be like, "No," and I'm like, "Okay,
Okay, so
yeah,
shut up.
shut your face. You're not welcome
Okay.
here."
Yeah. All right.
But let me tell you a movie, and I already told you that hits on both levels was Promising Young Woman. And if you haven't seen it yet, Diego,
So I almost bought the movie because it was at work the other day, and I'm like, should I just pull it off the shelf and buy it?
it's so
And
good.
I saw a trailer for it a while ago, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this is gonna be a wild one. This is gonna be a wild one.
So
and it was
good.
mid 2020 that we first saw a trailer.
Oh yeah, probably the
Something
first time we
like
saw a
that.
trailer,
The
but it
first time I
released
saw
at
a
the end of
trailer, I'm
last
like,
year.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like this is gonna be.
It's so good.
Okay.
But I mean, again, checks all the boxes across the board, and I had fun watching it.
Okay,
I'm like,
so that's good.
well written, well acted,
Okay.
well told, and man, it was
Is it
fun.
graphic? Is there a graphic element?
It is uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got.
Yeah, you are uncomfortable watching this movie.
Okay.
And there's a scene in this movie where it's like you're like, no way.
Oh
No.
God.
No. Yeah? Dang.
Okay.
It's one of those.
So it is okay.
Yep.
I definitely got
Promising
some
Young Woman
spooky
is
vibes.
my number one movie right now that
Okay.
I've seen as of recent.
Okay.
Out of everything that we have talked about, Justice League, Godzilla
So would
vs.
you rate
Kong.
that? Would you have that? Oh, just as the number one.
Yeah, Promising Young Woman is my number one movie right now.
Okay.
In my ranking for
Is it a long one? 2 hours?
Yeah, no, it's probably less than that. Probably another hour 45.
So I feel like it's not a popcorn and drinks kind of movie.
I don't even if you put popcorn and
Should
drinks
I
in front of you, I don't even think you would eat or drink them.
Do I not immediately go to sleep after?
Mm-mm. No,
Is
you
it like,
you
it's like, I got to put on Fresh Prince to clear
Yep.
my mind.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't even watch it at nighttime. And not because it's scary. You're just like, that was a little disturbing. I wish I had an errand I could run right now. Like I wish I was going to the grocery store after this movie. Like that's how we had to put on a sitcom afterwards for sure. You're like, wow,
Yeah.
that was dark. Yeah,
Because I think I mean
so good,
okay.
so
okay,
good.
That's good.